All right, so where are we at the end of season 6 of Flash? So if you haven't watched the finale of season 6, which was episode 19, and that's noteworthy, do I recommend it? Sure, sure. As season finales go, it wasn't very good. However, it wasn't supposed to be the season finale. This was not meant to be the season finale. But a lot of the weaknesses this season has had really kind of for me came out in this episode. So I'm going to go over where everybody's at and this really lengthy looking cast here of characters. And sometimes I wonder if this show has too many characters on it, if it might be better with fewer people in it. I don't even have Chester up here, and Chester honestly was starting to grow on me, and then he's just gone. Yeah, Chester's here. Yeah, no, he's not. He's part of Team Flash. Nah, now he's gone. All right, now we're gonna change this out. Now we're gonna go back. No. Okay. So Barry, the ridiculousness of the storyline that is, he's trying to create his own Speed Force, and he's trying to get his speed back. And here's the thing: he was running out of speed. What, 3 episodes ago? And he wasn't able to run very far. And they're talking about how much his speed's gone, and it's still going. But thankfully, every now and then it shows up, so it's kind of turned into his version of a sonic screwdriver. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and it depends on the situation where, yay, it saved somebody's life, they didn't die, or oh, it didn't work, but it doesn't matter because it wasn't a lethal situation. It's starting to get really aggravating, and this whole, well, we're going to create our own Speed Force, when they're not showing any attempts to create their own Speed Force. Not they had that ball thing that sort of did it, and then that was gone. And I understand we had a 19 episode season instead of 23. And you've got to imagine that those 4 episodes were cut out. Every episode, there's a conversation people are having that I'm like, okay, stuff got cut out. To make this season somehow cohesive, they've cut some stuff out where they're like, yep, so this has happened. Did you set that up? No. But again, I forgive that and I set that aside. I set aside that some of it doesn't make any sense. I do. Caitlin leaving is strictly because she's pregnant. They're really, I know, they're like, oh, Frost had that illness, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, she is so pregnant in this episode. As the season's gone on, she's gone from, I'm Caitlin, I'm sexy, and I'm here I am, look at me head to toe kind of thing, to, okay, all right, still good, all right. And then it's just headshots mostly. And I think it's funny because we know Danielle Panabaker had a baby recently, and she, yes, very, very pregnant, and you can see it in her face. Watching Lucifer with Yvonne, and we're into season 3 now, and Maze disappears, and then when she came back, she looked bigger, and we're like, she pregnant? And so Yvonne looked it up while we're watching. She goes, yeah, she was pregnant there. And then you could tell when she had the baby and when she started losing the weight after the baby and everything. Because you get to watch her go from, okay, it's Maze from a distance to, and Maze is back in the cat suits. So I guess she's had the baby and she's lost the weight. And so I guess this is how it works with comic book heroines. That they're, and Maze is a heroine. She's not a villain at all. She's fantastic. So, and Killer Frost to me is kind of the same. Sorry, just Frost now. The one thing that I find weird is that in one scene she was Frost, and the next scene she was Caitlin. And I'm like, did we see her turn into Caitlin? And why was she Frost in that other scene where the mother is saying, "I wish I had Caitlin here," and she could have. There's a lot of lines that they don't throw into these shows that are very talky, and I feel like there's definitely some lines they could throw in here to deepen relationships that they don't, and then there's a whole bunch of exposition that happens in other scenes. You're like, we don't need this. Nash. I'm still not sure I like Nash. I'm being honest. And here's the funny thing: Tom Cavanaugh is one of my absolute favorite actors. The guy's fantastic. But if we're stuck with Nash Wells forever, seriously, he's Indiana Jones. And of all of the iterations of Harrison Wells we've had, the most obnoxious was Sherlock. Bar none, the most obnoxious. But honestly, I kind of want Harrison back. I kind of want the original Harrison Wells back. Not Eobard Thawne. No, I'm talking about Earth Two's version of Harrison Wells. I kind of want that one back. That one had a lot of depth to him, and I liked him a lot. But you have to keep him because you have Allegra, who's a regular on the show next season. And The weird thing with her is, I think she's the only one on the show that gets changed. Most people on the show wearing the same clothes all the way through. I think Allegra's the only one that changes her clothes. And it's one of those weird things, where you're like, all right, Nash is in his costume, and Barry's always seemingly wearing the same clothes, and Iris has been wearing the same clothes since she went into the Mirrorverse. Allegra's the only one that goes, I need to change my shirt. So she might be the only one that's aware of body odor or showering or it's one of those things you notice in a show. Outside of this, the fact that when they get a meta, they stick him in a jail cell that doesn't have a bathroom, which is weird. How does that work? You just stick him in there and everything stops? I don't think that's how it works. But Allegra is going to be regular next year, and I'm on the fence with what they're doing with her character. I'd like to see some more depth from that character as well. And I guess the Nash storyline is still going to play into that. We'll see where it goes. Iris, it looked like at the end of it, had either escaped or she'd figured out a way into Tron. So I'm not sure, because she just turns into crystal and disappears. So I assume she either entered the computer in Tron or she's gone into the real world. And of course, it's possible that Iris is going to undergo some kind of a villain transformation because she's been in the Mirrorverse, but I don't like it. I don't like the fact that Iris is still in this mirror universe and she's been there forever. I had anticipated when she got pulled into this mirror universe that it would last like 2 episodes. I'm like, well, it's something for Iris to do for 2 weeks. And she's still there. We're going to go into next season, which is being delayed till January of 2021. And they're planning a full season of every show apparently next year. So that's going to be interesting, right? So for people who follow my hockey channel and are like, all upset about, you can't have sports coming back. Look, we're not going to have TV until January with what's gone on so far. So we're going to be out of stuff to watch at all pretty darn quick here. And so distractions are going to become fewer and farther between. Video games could be making a mint this fall. Because people are going to need an escape from the regular everyday stuff. And maybe Iris did escape the Mirrorverse and get into the regular universe. I don't care. I don't care if she winked into the sun at this point. I'm kind of done. The funny thing is, Iris is a character that I've liked or disliked depending on the season. And there were seasons where Iris and Barry aggravated me to death, where I was like, you know what? I hope they end up together so they can't make anybody else miserable. And at this point, like I said, if she winked out of existence into the sun, woke up in the heart of the sun, I'm fine with that. I'm okay. I'll get over it. It'll be fine. Eva has escaped the mirror universe. She's the big bad, and she killed Carver. And I still, the whole episode, I don't understand Carver. Carver's like, I don't need your help. And he's like, oh, never mind, Flash, I need your help. And I got this force field, and then the force field didn't work. And I'm like, okay, so Carver's got to be double-crossing him or something because he can't be this stupid. And no, he's that stupid. And he's a horrible villain. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know, are we supposed to feel bad that he's dead, that Eva killed him? Why, like, he was trying to kill Joe, so I don't understand why. And then, they had the body horror thing with the glass going through Flash's shoulder. That's just poor glass management. She could have taken the glass out of his shoulder and then spiked him that way. She didn't have to put it through Barry. And then Carver's dead, and she's like, my problem's not with you, Barry. And if I was Barry, I would have said, then why'd you put the bleeping glass through my bleeping shoulder, you stupid bleep? What the bleep? Like, I would have gone absolutely insane about the fact that glass went through my shoulder rather than her pulling it out and sticking them. And why'd you hit me with the glass anyways, lady? Like, you didn't have to do... Why did you hit me with all of it? Why did you keep... Like, why? I don't understand. So... yeah, Eva's the big bad, and I don't care, and she's running the corporation, and all I could think was, so thanks to the shutdown, now we got to deal with McCulloch Industries into next year. Shoot me now. And she would, and then she told me she didn't have a problem with me. She really acts weird for somebody who doesn't have a problem with Barry and his friends. I have a problem with your friends. Why are you trying to kill them then? I would take that personal. Somebody decides to try to kill me and my friends. I would probably take that personally. And as somebody goes, hey, nothing personal. I'm done trying to kill you and your friends because I've killed the guy I came here to kill. So we're all good then, right? No, probably not. Let's sit down and discuss this over a tea, and preferably I'll bring a baseball bat. Ralph. Oh, I love Ralph Dibny. I love Ralph Dibny, the character, and I'm starting to think the only way that Ralph is going to really fully flourish is if they give him his own series, and it's a detective noir kind of series with Sue, who apparently got framed for killing for killing Carver. See, the brain pain's back. And again, because this season got kind of cut short, I don't understand the whole. So she was gonna join Black Hole, and then she wasn't, and then I don't understand what her superpower is, like, other than wearing cat suits and flipping. I don't think she has one. And yet she's fighting with her. I trust you. Why do you trust her, Ralph? Why? Because you're in love with her. Why are you in love with her? Because the script said so. There's been nothing really. I mean, it's, and yet there's more. There's more chemistry between Ralph and Sue than there is between Barry and Iris. Who, Barry, you're living with your wife for over a month and you don't realize it's not your wife. You're a moron. And so I really didn't intend to do this time. I found myself, what everything Sue did in this episode, I'm like, why are you doing that? No, why are you doing that? Why are you doing? And then you came here to kill. What? Wait, what? How? And then Cecile shows up at the end with Joe, and Joe says the dumbest line in the history of the show. And Joe, I'm paraphrasing, but it turns out that when you're in witness protection and the guy you're in witness protection to protect you from dies, they let you out. Yeah, So Joe, I like Joe and all, but and I respect him as being what he is and all that, but he's sort of there, and I mean, as long as you've got the mirror version of well, you know what? Let's just go back. So the mirror version of Sing exists, and then I believe success is assured, and then he just explodes and he's Eva, and I'm like, okay, wait, was she always in there? Did she decide to blow up her last acolyte for no reason? I don't understand the why. The why part is what I don't get with anything Eva did in this. I don't understand. I don't get it. So you got Joe coming back at the end of this, and they're all like, yay, we're going to be Team Flash. That's how we got into this trouble in the first place, was Team Flash. So reuniting the crew of the Titanic doesn't necessarily assure success. And Cecile, who is the most underutilized character on the show, not named Ralph, is just sort of like, Cecile should be a core member of Team Flash. And I am a huge fan of the actress playing Cecile and of the character as well. And again, maybe we need a spin-off where you've got Ralph, Cecile, Joe, and Sue. You got the four of them. Because obviously Sue and Ralph are going to get together and hook up, and they're going to get married, because in the comics that's what happens. That's where we're going to go. Camilla is just sort of, I guess, stuck in the Mirrorverse forever. Cisco, I don't know. Cisco, sometimes he's there and he's a part of Team Flash. Sometimes he goes off, walk the earth, I guess, to quote Pulp Fiction, because I can't find another reason with Cisco. This is too many people. This is too many people. It's too many people. It's too much crap going on. It's too busy. It's something that I was aware of when I was writing books at times, where I was like, man, I got too many characters in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now keep in mind, obviously, Eva's not a member of Team Flash, and neither is Sue yet. But that's 9. 9 members of Team Flash. You end up with the same problem that Doctor Who has, where they have multiple companions, and there's no depth to the companions or their relationship with the Doctor, so it doesn't matter. So at the end with Doctor Who this year, my problem was finding a reason to care, where I'm like, why do I care about the Doctor? Why do I care about the companions? And the problem I'm having with the Flash right now is, why do I care if Barry loses his speed? And obviously the show's called The Flash. It's not going to be called The Slow. It's not going to become the Barry Allen show, where he's going to, just solve mysteries, because it can't be. So he's going to get his speed somehow, and now we're dragged into 2021 to find out what happens. With Camilla, I guess, still stuck in the Mirrorverse, and Iris, I really hope she's in the middle of the sun, but she's not, is she? And Cisco trying to figure stuff out. I don't understand. I don't understand the Mirrorverse thing. They didn't really explain very well, and I don't know. And now I get to wait until January at the earliest to find out what the hell's going on. and we're in May. That's 8 months from now. Dear Lord. And they've announced all the CW shows will be pushed back till January. So we got a long way to go and a lot of wringing our hands to do over this. Again, it was obviously not the season finale they planned, but just the storylines from this episode didn't end up paying off. And again, Barry has one job, to protect somebody, and he fails. And now all of his friends are failures at protecting people too. He's teaching them well. Okay, here's what we do, guys. Every year we're going to have people who ask us to protect their lives. And as superheroes, we're going to let every last one of them die. Okay? Because the last thing we need is another mouth to feed in Team Flash. So somebody comes in, we're going to say all the right things, and then they're going to be dead. Happened with the bus, with the Thinker season, and it's happened again this year. If Team Flash says we're here to protect you, by all means, change your name, move to Jamaica, and never speak of Team Flash again, because if you do, you'll die. But there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And again, I know people say, well, why do you watch it? Because there are characters that I like on this show. I think there's a lot that can be done with the Caitlin Killer Frost thing that's not being done. Frost. Allegra, I think, could be a fantastic character. Harrison Wells is a great character. Nash, I think, is kind of one-dimensional. But, again, Tom Cavanaugh's awesome. Ralph is fun. I think the Sue character could work. Love Cecile. Love Joe. And when Cisco's around, he's fun too. I'm not really all that sold on Camilla. I'm not sure. I don't know. Other than being Cisco's girlfriend, I just don't see that they've got a real character there. And yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters I like, and sadly Barry's not one of them. Barry this season was even more Barry than Barry normally is. Just so much Barryness to the Barry character. But let me know your thoughts. And hey, it's a fun show to talk about. It really is. It is a fun show to talk about. And one of the tests of a show is that when you're left scratching your head and you're going, what the hell's going on here? That you don't want to turn it off. With the 100, I lost interest. I'm going to be honest, I was watching the 100, I got up to season 5, and I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And I gave up on the 100. I gave up on it. Where I'm like, that's enough of that. That's it. I'm done. I'm done. So I have not got there with this show. I got there with The Walking Dead at some point, pretty much when the baseball bat hit Glenn in the head. And I went, okay, we're finished with you. And I have not got there with this show because there's still enough characters I care about. There's still enough storylines that I think could be interesting. And I'm still waiting for that great episode that I know the show has in it, that it has had in it before. Maybe I'll do like my 10 favorite episodes of The Flash, just to show I don't hate the show. I've had some episodes I've really, really liked. Almost anything that doesn't have Grodd in it, I've enjoyed. The Grodd episodes I've not been a fan of, but in general, anything that doesn't involve Grodd, I've been usually a fan of. And yet, the characters and some of their decisions are baffling. But let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.